Support and resistance, candlesticks, and structure are three of the most important skills you need to learn in trading. If you want to make a profit in trading, you have to learn and understand those three skills. Now, a lot of traders out there will tell you that's beginner stuff. You know, support and resistance is a retail way of trading. You know, I know how to trade it. I'm going to go trade like an institutional way. But a lot of traders don't actually understand the true meaning of support and resistance. They just believe you put a load of line on your charts and it's a level where you would buy and sell from, but also it's a level where institutions would take retail traders out. Now that is not true, because a lot of traders don't actually truly understand support and resistance. And to show you that here, what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to put a random line on my charts there. Just a random line. And somewhere, if I go back, you will see that price has respected, like here, and maybe here as well, and maybe here as well. Probably definitely here as well. Price has respected this random line. Now, the problem with this, let me zoom out and see if I can find oh, here we go here. So we got a nice little sell perhaps at the top there. Let's have a look at the weekly. Oh, and again here as well. So we got this nice area here. And again, nice little support as well. Now, the problem is with this line is, let me go back to my charts here. Again, just going to get rid of that there. The problem is with that line is it has no value. I mean, you can draw whatever support and resistance lines you want on your charts, and you could go back in time and say, well, look, you know, the price has bounced off it. It's going to do it again. You're trying to find something that doesn't exist. It has no value. It's just a random line. Now, what I'm going to show you is how to find value in support and resistance. When we draw support and resistance, we can draw as many lines as we want, but we want to find that one line that has value, that we know price is going to bounce off it, and we can take a trade off it and profit from that. Now, to do that, we're going to have a blank chart like this. I will show you an example on this whiteboard, and then we'll move on to the charts, and I'll show you a live example that I've took today using this exact same concept. Now, to do this, I've got Bob. I like Bob. Bob sits in my bottom left corner, and he is always happy, as you see. Now, as you can see here, we've just imagined that this is a price like this, and it's going down, it's pulling down, and then it goes into an uptrend and an uptrend and an uptrend like this here, and like this here, and like that there. So let me ask you this question. Where would be the best place to buy this trend? If you were taking a buy, where would be the best place you would want to take a trade? Here. That would be the best place to take a trade, because you're going with the trend and you're capturing right at the start of it, right at the start. That would be the perfect place to take a buy trade. Where would be the second best place? Here. Where would be the third best place? Here. And where would be the fourth? Here. Now, all of these have areas of support. One there, and one here as well. Now, where would you say the best place, like if you were taking a trade as a trader, you had money in a trading account and you wanted to take a trade, where would you take a trade? Here. These two support lines here, I'll just make that a different color so you can see. These two here would be the perfect place to take a buy trade. Now, which support line here would you say has the most liquidity, where most of the trades or where most of the money is sitting? Do you believe it's these two here? No, it's in fact here. This is where all the money is sitting. Now, there's a big problem right here. And this is where a lot of beginners fall short. A lot of beginners see this big upwards trend like this, and they decide, okay, right, so it's an uptrend. I'm looking for a buy trade. Now, what I want to do is wait for price to pull back and then go with the trend, because that's what you would want to do. You'd wait for the pullback like this here, and then you'd go with the trend. So in an ideal world, here would be perfect because you've got the confirmation it's a trend and you can see that it's in a trend. You wait for the pullback and you buy. But this is the most worst place you can buy a trend. And the reason being is, let's do that again here. We've got an uptrend, pullback, uptrend, pullback, uptrend, pullback like this. And again, we've got all of our support lines here, here, and here. Okay, and good old Bob at the bottom has bought here. So let's just imagine Bob has bought here. Okay, I'll make that red so you can see. There you go. Bob has bought there. Now, what do you think Bob is doing when price comes to here? What do you think Bob is doing? What do you think everybody else is doing that has bought here? And also maybe here as well, right at the bottom of this trend. What do you believe all these traders that have bought here are now doing here? They're selling their position. They've banked the profits. Like you would if you bought at the bottom here, you're probably locked in maybe 100 pips and you decide, you know what, I'm going to start taking profit. I'm going to close the trade off. I've done for the day. I've made some profits. Now, good old you is buying here, but everybody else that bought here is selling here. And what happens after that move? As soon as you take a trade, price reverses on you and you lose. So the most liquidity is right under here, because this is where everybody is holding trades. You know, if I just do that again here, I'll explain it to you in a more simple process. We got a downtrend, uptrend like this here. Everybody that bought at the bottom here is going to be selling their positions here. Now, what you don't want to do is buy here. That's the most worst thing you can do, because as everybody sells, you literally get stopped out. And a lot of traders out there are going to tell you that is an institutional move. What's happening here is that institutions are taking retail profits out. No, they're not. The problem is you haven't actually understood what is going on here. Everybody at the bottom here has made their profit now and is closing their position, and then price just reverses on yourself and you lose the trade. Now, let me give you another example as well. So we've got this downtrend here. We've got this uptrend. Price pulls back like this here. Again here. And then we come like this here. And we do something like this here. What do you think would happen here? So let's just say here, I'm going to put this area. Let's just do that again, because I've done it completely. My lines are not the best. So uptrend like this here. And then price comes all the way down to here. And we come straight up to this support line just here. So let's just imagine that's the support line. We've got a support line here. We've got a support line here. Now, going over exactly what I said here, a lot of traders are buying there. I'll make that a different color now. A lot of traders are buying here. A lot of traders are buying here, like this here. And what they're doing is they're riding up like this here. Then good old you decide to buy here. And what happens? These traders at the bottom start closing their positions. They drive the price down. Now, what do you think happens now when price comes to here? Bear in mind, you look at the overall direction, it's an uptrend. And also, if you look left, you can see this area of support here. You can see that previous traders like Bob bought here. And now price has come back down to this level. What do you think the next move is going to be? A buy. Is it? No, it's not. Because what you're failing to miss is this support line here. This support line here has been broken. And if support has been broken in an uptrend, then it is most likely going to reverse down and stop you out. So in an ideal world, what you'd want to see is like this. Uptrend, pullback, uptrend, pullback, uptrend, pullback, uptrend, pull down, pull back like this here. And what we want to do as traders is to buy here, and sell here. I make that red so we can see, and sell here and sell there. This is where we would want to be taking trades. We want to buy here, sell here, and then open another sell here. Now, this area here is a big no-no. It's this area here that traps traders. This is where there's a fight between, as traders would say, institutional and retail, but it's not actually true, because what's actually happening here is as prices going up like this here, all the beginners start buying because they think it's an uptrend, and everybody that bought down here starts selling here. They start closing their positions off, and then everybody gets stopped out, and all of this money gets sent to the broker, because this is what happens. And then what happens is price pulls down like this here, and then good old you think, look, price has come back down to this support line here. I'm going to buy again because I'm buying at a better price. If price is in an uptrend, price has pulled back, I'm going to start buying again. But you don't want to be doing that. You want to be selling here. You don't want to be buying here. You want to be selling here. And it's this structure and this support and resistance that you need to understand when you're on the charts. Now, to make it a bit clearer, let's actually go to the charts. Now, I took a beautiful buy on gold earlier. As you can see here, it was almost like a textbook buy. You couldn't got any more perfect than that trade. Now, let me just show you that example now on gold. And this is on the daily time frame, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is, first of all, draw this area like this here, like that there, okay? And what's actually happened is we've had this area of support here. So as you can see here, this had value. This had value because you can see price has bounced off it. Now, the biggest problem with this one is going back to the example I just showed you on a whiteboard. You've got a downtrend, and then you've got this here, and you've got like this here. In the ideal world, you'd want to be buying here. So you'd want to be buying just here. The problem is that's very hard to predict. Okay, it's very hard to predict. So where would be the next area where you'd want to buy? Here. This is where would be the best area to then next buy. And again, you don't want to be buying here. You want to be buying here. So where do we look for? We look for the next pullback in the market. We look for the next area of support. Okay, we're looking for that area just here where we can buy from. Now, if we look on this chart, we actually have one just here, okay? I waited for price to come up to this level like this here. And as soon as price came up to this level, I then, let me make it a little bit clearer so you can actually see we have this area just there. Okay, bear in mind, this is the daily time frame on gold. As soon as price came up to this level, I then see price go straight through it. This significant candle here went straight through this support, this resistance area. Now, what does this tell me? Okay, it tells me there's a lot of momentum in the market. Okay, there's a lot of buying power. It's gone straight through that support line. Okay, so what do you think the next move is? Bear in mind, we've got something like this here. What do you think the next move is off this support line when price comes back down to it? We buy off it. Now, you can't see it perfect on the daily. You might be able to see it better on the 4 hour. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. Okay, yeah, you can see it perfectly now on the 4 hour. So you can see here what's actually happened here is we had that initial support line just there, and price came all the way up, broke this structure, broke previous resistance, pulled up like this here, pulled down, and then what do you think the next move is? Buy. Buy just there. So this is that perfect example here. We had a nice little downtrend move like this here, which is this one just here. We then had a move up. It broke structure, as we can see here. It then pulled back down to this structure, which is here, and we bought from it. So like myself included, I'm in a buy trade at the moment here. Now, what the worst thing you want to be doing next is buying here. This is the next level of structure, okay? The next resistance area just here. This is the next point that you could potentially buy from. But the problem is with buying from here is that the people that bought here are going to start selling their position. And when they start selling their position and banking profit, price is going to start to pull back. Okay, now it's not pulling back to take traders out. It's just people are just selling their position, banking profit. Nobody else is buying anymore. But as soon as price comes down here, people might start buying. But what you want to do next is see what happens at this level. Does it go up or does it break it? If it breaks it and comes back down to this level like here, you don't want to buy again. A lot of traders would then come back when price comes back down to this level, is they would buy. You don't want to do that. You do not want to buy here. It's the worst thing you want to do, because this is where it's going to trap you out. Because what's going to happen is price is going to pull up like this here. It's going to come straight back up to this resistance here, as you can see here, and then price is going to drop. So you're going to buy here and I'm going to sell here, and you're the one that's going to get took out. Now, this isn't liquidity. I mean, this isn't institutional. It's just basic structure and support and resistance. Now, another example, just want to clear it up, is USDJPY. Okay, USDJPY pretty much has been doing that for the past, I think it's the daily. No, it's the 1 hour. Okay, so even on the 1 hour, we had these areas that I'm just going to mark it up like this here. So we had an area just there. We had an area just here. And we had another area just here as well. Now, what you do not want to do in your trading, you do not want to do this, is to draw a line and look back in the charts like this. So if I just draw a line like this here, the last thing you want to do, in fact, you do not want to do it, is go back like this and go, well, you know what? Price bounced off this area in November 2010. You do not want to do that, because you don't care what happened in 2010. Today's 2022. Okay, what you want to be doing is looking at what's happening now, the real value in support and resistance. This is where the value is with the support and resistance. So as we can see here, what's actually happened is we had this big sell-off just here, so a big red candle. Price then came down. Now again, what a lot of traders would do, at this level just here, is they would buy. A lot of traders would buy at this level thinking, well, look, price bounced off it before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to buy from it. No, you don't want to do that, because this is your structure here. Okay, what happens is price comes up and then you maybe get 10, 15 pips out of this trade. If you're lucky, you might take profit. Okay, if you've got this idea that it's going to go up into an uptrend, you're totally wrong. Because as soon as price pulls up, I look left like this and I see the structure, I sell. And then what happens here? Price then pulls back again to this structure, this resistance area, and goes straight through it. And then what happens now is price is going to pull back. As you can see, it is currently pulling back to this area just here. Now, do not sell from this level here, because there's sellers that sold at the top here that are going to start taking profit. And what they would do if they're in a trade, so if I was in a trade and I took a trade at the top here, what I would do is look at the daily and find the area where price is likely to go to. And then I would look to close my position off. So probably we've got an area. Let's just go to the 4 hour. Yeah, so we got this area just here. So just here, this is my next area just here. So I would probably close my position off here, and I'd bank my profit. So this is how you draw true support and resistance. What you don't want to do is just draw a random line on your charts and just say, well, you know what, that's support and resistance. When we look at the binary destroyer, let me show you another example with the binary destroyer, is we had this little buy just here. Now, can you see how amazing this buy was with gold? How good of a buy it was. Now, let's just focus on this area here. Let's bring up naked price action and let's go to the 15-minute charts. Now, bear in mind, I broke down this example on charts. So what we had here, I believe, or was it? No, it was. I think it was here. Let me just bring up the binary destroyer and I'll find exactly where that area was. So it was here. So I'm just going to bring up a little area like this here. I'm going to go to the 15 minutes and okay, yep, I know exactly where it is. So naked price action, and again here we've got this area just here, just like that there. Okay, probably better there. Okay, so what's actually happened here is in fact we actually have two areas just here as well. So we've actually got two. So I don't think the binary destroyer produced a signal there, I'm not sure. But what's actually happened here is, again, we've had that big move up. Price has come down. It's come down to this level here. Let me just, I just want to add all of the support lines in so you can see. Okay, so what's actually happened here is we've come up to this level here. We've come down. In fact, I probably wouldn't even count this as a support line because price hasn't actually, there isn't actually any structure on it. Let me just, no, I wouldn't actually count that. I was going to count that because of the wick, but I don't believe it is. So what's actually happened here, okay, is price has come up, come down, come up, okay, come back down to this level. Now, as you can see here, this area here is the most important part you want to look at because this is the only level, like I said, I marked up a few other levels, but this is really the only level here that has had a resistance like this here. You can see here, price has bounced off it there. You can see how price has bounced off it there. And you can see rejection at this level. So when price comes down to it, it's bounced off it. And again, as well, we've had this area just here as well. This nice little buy just there. And again, if you look left, you can see the area where you would buy from. So what you would do, again, is go down to the lower time frames, like the 1 minute, load up the binary destroyer, and take a buy trade. And that's exactly how you would do it. This is true value because you know that price is going to bounce off it. Okay, now what you don't want to do is go back in your charts like this here and go, you know what, let's go find a support line that was respected 20 years ago. No, what we want to do is find true value in support and resistance. I just wanted to, so we had this area, I just want to try and figure out the areas of support. So we did, so we did actually have this value area here because we had a rejection wick just there. So price did come down, bounce off it, and then we came above it and bounced off it there. Yeah, okay, so it was a bit messy off the lower time frames. This is a lot clearer now on the 30 minutes. But you can see how we had this area of structure. Price broke it, created a new high, came back down. Well, this is where you would buy from. You would then see it break structure again. You've got your second area of buy. And again, you would buy here and you would buy here. What you don't want to do is now try and wait for price to come down and buy again. You see how price is starting to turn in gold? Okay, well, what's actually happening here is on the bigger picture is everybody that bought at the bottom here is now selling their position. So we're pretty much at the top of this uptrend. And in fact, you can actually see if we take gold all the way, you can see another area here as well. You can see a nice little break to the upside. This big momentum switch here. Again, see, look at the candle. Look at the big momentum switch. Price comes up, it pulls back. Lot of buyers here, and then price rallies up. In fact, I believe this area here is where I took that trade. I believe it is. Yeah, look. I believe if I go back to the 1 hour, let me try and find the 1 hour. No, I can't actually. I can't find it. But anyway, this is what we would do. So that's how you try and find true value in support and resistance. You want to be looking at the now, not what happened 20 years ago. So my name is Jamie Palmer. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, drop me an email, thebinarydestroyer@gmail.com.